Hi, I'm Kathy Barker from Software Solutions, and this is the first of a collection of videos about Microsoft SharePoint Online. And what we're looking at in this collection of videos is document management, which is really one of the strengths that SharePoint offers. SharePoint is a critical tool for day-to-day business activities, and it's basically a service that organizations are increasingly using to securely store, organize, access, and share data and files with people. So I want to take you through how we can manage documents effectively with SharePoint Online. Now, the first thing we need to look at is magnification. If you are going to work with SharePoint, you need to be able to easily see. And what I find sometimes are some of the SharePoint sites are a little large, and therefore I find it quite clumsy to interact with them. If you have a mouse with a wheel on it, I'd like you to know that if you hold the control key and press the wheel forward, you will actually zoom in, as you can see I'm doing here. And if I hold the control key and move the wheel backwards, I zoom out. So find a comfort level of magnification that you want to work with. And mine's about there, 80%. Now, if you don't have a mouse with a wheel, then you may have to rely on the browser. I'm using the browser Chrome, and so if I go into the Chrome settings, these little dots in the top right corner here, I can actually use the zoom in and zoom out and even fit to screen or full screen options that Chrome offers. So find the settings within Edge or Chrome or Firefox or whatever web browser you're using and use those. But I'm lucky to have a mouse with a wheel on it, so I'm just going to zoom in and zoom out throughout these sessions that way. Now, another thing I think that's important to assist you with working with SharePoint is how you view these files or folders that I currently have on my screen. If I go to this All Documents option here, which has a V, I can switch my view from list to compact list, which just tightens things up a little bit and lets you see more on your screen. So whereas I was viewing up to image 4 now, I'm now viewing up to image 9. If I go back to all documents and put it to list, you can see I'm only seeing as far as image 4. And if I go back to compact list, I'm seeing beyond image 4. So I quite like the compact look because I get to see more on my screen. But others have a preference for the view called tiles. So if you click on tiles, you'll actually get a tile representation of your folders and your files within your SharePoint site. And I'm just using this Coffee Lovers site to demonstrate. So you'll need to use your site to see how these look. So I'm going to switch it back to compact list. I want to see a compact list view and I want to see all documents. Okay, so that's our magnification and our view. Now, often we need to navigate back and forward in and out of folders and files while we're in SharePoint. And so many of us have become accustomed to the back arrow and the forward arrow that comes with our web browser. Just so that you know, there are shortcut keys for these arrows, and Alt left arrow is the same as back, and Alt right arrow is the same as forward. So if I went Alt left arrow, I would actually go back through the various views I've been working with. And if I go Alt right arrow, I go forward until I get back to the final view I was just working with. And it's no longer lit up. So be aware of the Alt left and right arrow. And what's sometimes very handy if I want to go back quite a few views is you can actually hold your mouse button down on the back arrow and it will actually give you a history of all the pages that you've been viewing in this SharePoint site, and it'll allow you to go directly to a particular page in this list. You can even show a full history of where you've been and go back to something that you were looking at or working with quite a while ago. So hold your mouse button down on the back button or the forward button to get a list of things that you can go back to or forward to. Now, the other thing is sometimes we need to refresh the site because we've uploaded files and perhaps all the files aren't showing. So many of us have become accustomed to hitting this button here to reload this page and effectively refresh the page. But again, if you're doing this a lot, it's nice to know what are the shortcut keys. And so Control R is reload the page. And also F5, the function key, is also refresh the page. So if you want to reload or refresh your page, simply press F5 or Control R. So I hope you appreciate some of those navigation tools, and the magnification is very useful, I think, and so are the views.